Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Over the last week, I've been going back to review some of the movies that I missed over the course of this year, so that way I can review them before the year ends and I share my top movies of the year. So now I'm going to go back and review Elvis. Before I let you guys know what I thought about Elvis, let me know down in the comments if you have seen it. What did you think about this movie? How would you rank it among your favorites of this year, or did you like it at all? I'd love to know your thoughts. With that said, I'm going to get started with my review. And I have to say, this is a movie that was really a pleasant surprise for me because I didn't know much about it. And after watching it, I did end up having a really good time. And I think it's one of the, not one of the best, absolute best, but I really enjoyed this movie, and it's definitely one of the better movies to come out this year. Now, I don't know how accurate it actually is to the life of Elvis Presley because, like I said, I don't know anything about the guy, so I can't really tell if it's completely accurate or not. But from what I could tell, it does seem pretty realistic, and I guess it kind of fits in with what I do know about him, which is very little. But I still think just the way they're able to convey the story, I think Baz Luhrmann's just a great director, and the way his style is just incorporated throughout this whole movie, I think is really good. And his direction is very unique, and when you watch the movie, you can tell that it's kind of like that. The only other movie I've seen from him is The Great Gatsby, which I had to watch for school. So it's not necessarily like a one-to-one comparison, but because they're very different types of movies, but you can still tell that his style is on both of them. And in this one, especially like the quick editing, the way the whole thing is, the pacing of the whole thing is just very distinct from other directors because the whole movie it basically feels like a music video. It just feels like a 2.5 hour music video, honestly. And I don't mean that in a bad or good way necessarily. It's gonna work for some people, it's not gonna work for some people. For me, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I did think at some point it got really exhausting and I was kind of waiting for the movie to end. But for the most part, I think I found the style of the movie very unique and I thought it was very fresh compared to most other directors now. So I did really enjoy what they did. And I think it did fit with the character of Elvis too. I really enjoyed the music in the movie. Obviously, a lot of it is actually Elvis Presley's music. And some of it, like the score and stuff like that, I also really enjoyed. There was also an Eminem song at the end of the movie, which I thought was actually really cool because Eminem is a really cool artist working right now, and I think his song at the end was really good. And overall, just the music in general throughout the whole movie is really good, and I think it fit with the movie. And because a lot of it is actually Elvis Presley's music, whenever it played, I did like hearing a lot of his work because I like I said I don't listen to a lot of Elvis Presley's music, so I did really enjoy it and kind of like getting familiar with his music. Easily, in my opinion, the best thing about this movie is Austin Butler's performance as this character, as Elvis. I think he just completely turns into the character and gives an amazing performance. I honestly think right now, from what I've seen this year, he's a top 3 performance, maybe even maybe even number 1. I think he should get nominated for an Oscar. His performance was just absolutely incredible and one of my favorite performances of this entire year. And the way he was able to turn into the character of Elvis Presley, because I don't know much about Austin Butler, but I did not see him in the role at all. The only thing I saw was Elvis Presley. Like when I was watching him perform on stage, like, and all that stuff, just in general, not just on stage, but when he was talking to different characters, like you could tell that he really like understood who Elvis Presley was and he performed the character really well. There's also a lot of really emotional moments throughout the whole movie. It's just filled with emotions and Austin Butler's performance really shows that. And even some of the other characters, just they do a great job of emoting and showing everything that's going on in the movie, and you could really follow the story throughout the whole thing. And I always really felt the emotional impact of what was happening because there's a lot of really sad and emotional scenes in this movie. Now, I think Colonel Parker, played by Tom Hanks, is kind of a weird character in this movie because I did really like him at times. I think his performance was kind of cool, but at times he was just really annoying, and I think he's one of the weakest parts of the movie. And I think he's probably the thing that frustrated me the most throughout the whole thing. Because, like, I get what they were going for because they were actually trying to reflect kind of the flaws that he has as a person throughout the whole movie. And at times I could see that, but at times he was just a really annoying presence because he's, like, really narrating the whole movie. And at times it feels like the movie's more about him than about Elvis, which I didn't like because the movie's called Elvis, so it has to be about him. But a lot of the times the movie just felt like it was about Parker, and it didn't really work for me. I also think Tom Hanks and some of the writing for the character just felt very over the top and didn't really fit with the rest of the movie. Now the movie is very vibrant and like over the top, but sometimes his character just went too far, and I just found it to be really obnoxious. But yeah, I think that's only like really the biggest flaw of the movie. For the most part, I really enjoyed what they were going for, and I think they delivered on the story that they were telling. And it's just a really great Elvis biopic. And it's not one I'm gonna go back and rewatch a lot, but it's definitely a movie that I think it accomplished what he was going for really well. And although it's not the most entertaining movie ever, it did what it was going for really well. And I think that I really respect it for that reason. And overall, just Baz Luhrmann did a great job of directing, and Austin Butler, man, just gave an incredible performance, and he really deserves to get an Oscar nomination and maybe even win for this. I also think the movie on a technical level is really good. There's great cinematography, the color correction, color scheme, everything is really good. I really think the costume design, the makeup and stuff was really good too. And that also kind of did a great job of transforming Austin Butler into Elvis and actually making us feel like he is the character. And I really enjoyed that about this film. So overall, I really enjoyed Elvis. I think it's a really good movie. I do think there's things that could have been better. And it's not necessarily my style. Baz Luhrmann's style is not really my thing. But overall, I did really enjoy the movie. And it is one of the stronger films I've seen all year. So I'm going to give this movie a B+. On an entertainment scale, I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's perfect. I do think there's a lot of things that could be improved upon. But for the most part, it did a great job of telling the story it was telling. And I really enjoyed learning more about Elvis Presley. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what did you think of Elvis if you've seen it? If you enjoyed my review, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.